Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to today's episode of SEDAT HR Digest. Thank you so much for joining us week after week. And thank you for sharing, liking, and commenting on all our social media handles. We want to encourage you to keep liking, keep sharing, and keep commenting. Today's episode is an interesting one, and we're going to have after conference experience talk. So, a recap of what happened at the conference in Kumasi. But if today is the first time of joining us on SEDAT HR Digest, I want to say a very big welcome to you. Feel free, share, participate in the communication. It's a very engaging platform, a platform where we learn together, we unlearn together, and we relearn together. And so feel free to share your thoughts, ask questions, and seek clarification when necessary. Wherever you're watching us from, I want to give you a shout out, I want to acknowledge you. And so please type your name in the comment section, your name and your location in the comment section, and then we will read it out to acknowledge you. And also, if you participated, if you joined us during the conference on 26th of September at the Maitland Hotel, feel free to share your experience with us in the comments and let us know which aspect of the conference resonated more with you. Let us know how you felt about the whole conference. If you participated online, share your comments, share your thoughts, share your experiences with us. SEDAT HR Digest is brought to us by SEDAT Consult, your number one trusted HR company, HR firm. You can contact us for all your people and organizational needs. We are there to support you. We are there to help you. At SEDAT Consult, we give you all the tips and all the support you need to have to be able to impact your company positively. And so you can reach us on 0244 629245, 0244 or 055 088 3936, 055 088 3936, and we will be there to support you. And then also want to say a very big thank you to all our sponsors for coming to support us. In fact, we wouldn't have had a very successful conference without your support and without your help. A big thank you to Glyco, a big thank you to Amenfiman Rural Bank, a big thank you to 𝐀𝐝𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬 Studios and Focal Link Tech. Thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it. We are very, very grateful. We want to say thank you from all the team, from our CEO and all the team. We say thank you so much for coming to support us. Before I introduce our speakers for today, I'd like to remind you that SEDAT Mentorship Program is ongoing and we are calling for mentors and mentees. If you need an experienced HR person to help you in your journey, feel free to reach out to us. The flyer is being displayed on your screen right now. Contact us on 059 405555, and we would help you. We would give you all the information you need and assign you to a mentor. And if you are a mentor out there and you want to share your experience with other young practitioners, feel free to call us on the same line 0591 405 555, and we will give you all the information that you need to be able to come on board. It's going to be a full 12 months program starting from October 2024, and we are ending on Okay, so we are starting October 2024. That's just next month, and we're going to end September 2025. It's going to be an experience you can never forget in a hurry. Once again, I want to say a big thank you to all our speakers. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Techi, Cynthia, Yvonne, and Kojo. Thank you so much Thank you so much. We really, really, really appreciate it. We had a very insightful session with you, and it's an experience that can never be forgotten in a hurry. All right, so we have Lydia. Lydia is joining us from Apenkwa. Thank you, Lydia. Keep sending us your name and your location, and we would read it out to acknowledge you. All right, so all the registration link for the mentorship and then the mentor program is right in the comment section. Kindly feel free to click on it and register. Register. And all those that participated in the conference, thank you so much for coming. I believe you had a very nice time. I want to hear from you. Want to hear your experience, how you felt the whole session and all that. We had three main speakers. And so Yvonne spoke on the subject, leveraging diversity for innovation and growth, harnessing the power of diverse perspective. We had Kojo speaking on the topic, diversity in action, managing generations for sustainable organizational success. And then Cynthia spoke on the theme, building inclusive culture, strategies for fostering belonging at the workplace. And I mean, it was a very wonderful experience. I mean, with all the speakers, somebody was telling me that when Cynthia was about to start her presentation, she got some comb in her hair and all that. And then somebody prompted one of the team members, said, go and tell her to remove the comb from her hair. Little did she know that it was all part of the presentation. We had an amazing time. And then we had our keynote speaker speaking on the main theme, navigating generational diversity, a roadmap to organizational effectiveness. Four solid, strong subjects, and we just cannot, honestly, I just cannot explain to you if you mixed it. But hey, we brought two participants here today to share their experiences with you, give you briefings of whatever transpired at the conference, and I'm happy to introduce to you. Last year she was there, and this year she came again. And she'll tell you that something good is happening at the conference, and so I'm very happy to introduce to all of us the HR for BM Properties, Nanaya. I call her Nanaya, Deborah Nanaya Apre. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for joining us on SEDAT HR Digest.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you here once again.
Thank you for having me again.
All right, and then our next guest for today is Frimpong Boache Ansa, and he is the HR for St. Louis College of Education. Hi, Frimpong.
Hello,
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well by grace. I
Great,
hope you are
great.
doing good too.
Yeah, I'm fine. The weather want to weather me, but I'm okay. I'm okay. So thank you so much for joining us. Nanaya, you're laughing. The weather want to weather me, oh, Charlie.
The pleasure, the pleasure is
I
mine.
can imagine.
But I'm very fine, and looking forward to a very interactive session with the two of you today. We want to start our conversation, and I want to start with somebody say ladies first, another person say men before. So don't worry. This one, I think we were very diverse in our choosing. So we are okay here. We are okay here. So let me come to Frimpong. Tell me, I mean, this is my first time hosting you on this platform. What was your experience at the conference? So I would like you to pick it from your expectation before the conference and what you actually encountered.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity, and a very big thank you to SEDAT Consults, HR Consults, and then a very good evening to view listeners all over the world. Okay, myself, I was a part of last year's conference,
Oh, I see.
and boy, was I impressed? Was I um, put everything together? It was a great package I had last year. So coming into this year, I would say I wasn't expecting anything less than what I
Mm.
experienced last year. And true to I would say true to see that word. This year was another amazing conference that I if we were to be in church, we would say really blessed my life. Yeah,
Hey.
that
Right, that honestly, it was really a very powerful conference, and I mean, like Frimpong said, we couldn't have had anything lesser than what we experienced last year. Now, let me come to you.
I
Wow,
I I I would say I'm privileged, and it wasn't for yeah. Thank you.
right. Thank you. Now, let me come to you. What were your impressions? I mean, you were there last year, and this year you were not only there.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so once again, thank you so much.
what was your impression?
Okay, thank you so much. Mrs. Patience, once again for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. And I mean, I was there last year, and just like Mr. Bachi Ansah said, I also didn't expect less. And I had a time of my life. All right, I had a time of my. I really enjoyed the session. I was all over the place. I tried as much as possible, and I must tell you, even from the feedback I had from a lot of other participants, it was amazing. And one thing that I was very much impressed about was this year's theme. That it's not just timely, but it's also something that is critical in today's workforce. And so I believe SEDAT Consults is timely. They are updated. They know the trends of HR. They know the trends of what is happening in the organization. And I've brought this conference at the right time to help address these issues. So I believe this year has been amazing, has been very insightful. Things that we have learned, even the networks that we made. I mean, SEDAT is full of surprises. You never know who you are going to meet until you go for SEDAT conference. And then you realize that, wow, there are people in the fraternity. And then you get to make a lot of new contacts and network. And it's just amazing. I've loved it. I've loved it.
We are glad you loved it. But let me come to you again. I saw you sit with the speakers during the panel discussion, and I saw you share your thoughts from your perspective as a Gen Z. How was the feeling like? I mean, to sit on the same panel with Cynthia, with Kojo, I mean, feeling. Tell us about the feeling. How did you feel?
The feeling was heavenly. I feel blessed. I feel privileged. I feel honored to actually be on the panel with them because,
Was it intimidating at the point?
a bit. When I sat, immediately I sat, I was shivering. Immediately I sat down, I was shivering. So I started looking out for the other volunteers. Yo, turn off the AC behind me. So at a point, I think I started calling Mr. Bachi and on phone. I was like, yo, get the Michelin people to come and turn off the AC. I'm shivering. I think it's cold here. So I was like, wow, it was exciting, but also it's like these are my mentors, and I'm sitting right by them to have a discussion with them. It was a privilege. It felt great. It felt great. And thank
Right.
thank you said that so much for the opportunity.
But you did so well, sharing your
Thank you.
thoughts and all that. That was amazing. I believe next time we are going to put Frimpong on that hot seat.
Thank you so much.
Put him on that hot seat. Right. So let me come to you, Frimpong. Talk to us. I mean, today we are having general discussion about the conference and how we were. The networking session, were you able to establish any valuable connections, during the conference? Do you meet people you haven't met before? We'll be talking about the topics and what was discussed, but let me do this quickly and then let's get out of the way. Were you able to meet people you haven't met before? Did you
Okay.
establish any connections?
So about establishing contact, I'll say I was able to meet a handful of people. Um, Coming from the HR professional institute, I met a few mates that we gelled. I mean, it's been some time since we met, and then I also those events where you go and then you meet somebody who knows you, but you really don't remember exactly where you know the person from. Yeah, there were those moments as well. And then, yeah, there were few people within the College of Education fraternity that I was also able to meet. And then, so basically, I think these are some of the contacts that I was able to establish. There are people who knew me before even speaking to them, and it was just a time to just get to meet. Oh, so you're also in within the College of Education. Oh, nice. You are also here. Oh, nice. And so that for me, that was that. I'm not really the outgoing type or other stuff. But because of the profession, I mean, we have to at least try and do something. Yeah. So
Of course,
basically,
it's
that
very
is that is
necessary.
that for me. Yeah.
Then, yeah, let me come to you. So we have three speakers at the conference. Four includes in addition to the keynote speaker who spoke on the main theme. But then we had Yvonne talking about harnessing the power of diversity. We had Kojo talking about managing generational diversity for sustainable business, organizational success. We had Cynthia talking about fostering belongingness and all that. Let me come to you. Nanaya's network is on, but Freport, I think I can start with you whilst we wait for
Yes.
Nanaya to join us.
Mm.
But what were your key takeaways from the conference?
Um, 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 okay, should I say thank you to all the speakers because I mean it was it was just amazing. And one of the things that I think I should put across is that the conference, the topic or the theme for the conference, really it's not just about it's about the generational banter we even have in our homes, in our families, and I mean, for me, it settled a wider range of 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 issues or a wide range of arguments within myself. Um, um, yes, I'm HR, but coming from a youth point of view, I'm also a youth leader. So these I mean, the presentation from the speakers came in so like I would say at the right time because if if you would check at this point in time, there seemed to be this uh, uh should I say generational banter, the older, the old and the new, the mid old and the new thing. Yeah, but one of the key things that I would say is that understanding this generational diversity, it's not just it's not just about policies and about arrangements, about these bureaucratic principles and procedures, but it's really about managing emotions and meeting needs. And if we are looking at all these four generations, there are certain emotions they come with. It's a full package. Let me put it that way. It's a full package. That's what I understood. That they come in with a package. And it's not just about the rules regarding the institution, regarding the organization, but it's really about managing their emotions and meeting their specific needs or their diverse needs. And so for me, that's what I would say was my key takeaway. Takeaway.
Managing the emotions of the various generations we have at the workplace, and tailoring interventions to meet those needs. Then let me come to you. Before you went off, I wanted to find out your key takeaways from the conference.
Oh, okay. So thank you. When it comes to the key takeaway, I think I have key takeaways. I have a lot, but for the sake of time, let me share one. One that really resonated with me was, for instance, when I was on the panel with them, how we understand that all these different generations come with a certain expectation. All the generations have their expectations. For instance, the baby boomers being result driven, and they are the ones that seek for job security. The Gen X seeking for work life balance, and then the Gen Zs and millennials, of course, prioritizing purpose driven work. Right. So this variation of expectations, the insights that came out of all that we had actually highlighted the need for customized approaches, just like Mr. Frimpong said, customized approaches to actually deal with every employee, right, from different organization generations, to enhance the engagement and retention of them. Because if we as HR or leaders, we want to go by just strict HR policies, then some of these ones are not going to favor people from other generations. Because I think Labor Act, when it had started, Gen Z was not there. They were not in the workplace as much, and so some of these policies and things might not favor them. And so now that we know that there are different generations, then it means that besides the HR policies, we have to find ways or devise new policies or find ways to actually be able to include everybody. Mind you, we are talking not just about diversity, but inclusion as well. And so we have to find ways to include everybody, make everybody from all generations feel heard, feel seen, and feel appreciated at the workplace. So it was really important for us to actually highlight that.
Right. We have to make everybody feel heard and
Thank you.
feel again. Thank you, Nanaya. Thank you so much. So I mean, at the conference, we got to know of the generation that Nanaya belongs to. But for the sake of those who were not there, I'm going to ask her to mention her generation again. And then Frimpong would also do same with us. So Nanaya, I want to hear you again. Which of the generations do you belong to?
Gen Z.
Okay. So Nanaya,
Who's Gen Z?
is a full Gen Z. Let me go to Frimpong. Frimpong, can you share your, if you don't mind, do you mind, can you share your generation with us?
About the Gen Zs, right?
No, 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 you. I want to know Frimpong's generation.
Oh,
Okay. I am a Gen Y. That's the millennial. I'm a millennial.
Okay. I mean, it's a good blend for me. It's a good blend for me. So, at least the conversation will not be skewed towards one direction. You understand? So, since you are a millennial, now from your perspective, um,
Mhm.
what's in your view? Okay, do you think that companies should do in order to benefit from the various um, generations that exist in their workplace from a millennial's perspective? I'm sure Danaya will give us a different view.
Okay. Okay. And I was also going to pick it up from where she landed in her first earlier submission. And I think that being a Gen Z being a Gen Y, I would say that from the conference we understood that we fall between the Gen Zs and then the Gen Xs. We are like the big brothers, the big sisters who step in the situation to come situation because there's this gap, there's this gulf between the X and the Zs. Yeah. So for me, one of the things that Deborah mentioned was that there should be tailored, tailored. How do I put it? Okay, let me put it this way. Uh, we should identify or we should understand the needs, as I said earlier on, the needs of every generation. If we have a Gen X, if we have a Gen Y, if we have a Gen Z, we should understand their various needs and tailor, uh, 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 bring out tailored procedures, tailored. I'm trying to find a better word, but this is what we
Let's say
have.
strategy.
So strategies, thank you, tailored strategies to tap into their potentials. And earlier on, I said that there's this generational banter. The X's don't understand why the Y's come to, the Z's come to work, and then they want to be listening to music. They want to have earpiece in their ears while they are talking to you, while you are talking to them, and all. They don't understand. But then, how can we
Sorry, his network, it's not really favoring him at this moment. Anaya, do you want to take over?
tap?
Okay, we have him back.
Okay, so what I was saying, how do we tap into all these potentials and
All right.
how do we? I would have wished that almost everyone, all the managers, all the bosses would have been at the conference so that is the moment we begin to understand each other, we'll be able to relate to each other and then tap into whatever potential that we have. Um, uh, um, Yvonne mentioned that if there's there's this Rasta guy, and even at the conference, I was sharing with a few of my mates who was saying that if there's this Rasta guy in her office. The guy really works, but it's just that the hairstyle that she doesn't really like, so it is a bother for him. But then coming for the conference, she understands that that is the Gen Zs, that is what they want. So how can she best utilize that rasta or something for her good. Yeah, and then I think that once we begin to have understanding and then uh, uh, know that these are what this is what we have. So let's make do with that and then channel it into something great. I always I've mentioned that it's not really what the conference is not really tackling just HR issues. It's tackling family, the generational, the society that we have in now. Sometimes the X's or the Y's don't understand why these people are doing this thing, are behaving that way. They have their phones, but the best thing to control or to monitor them is not to shout on them or to seize their phone, is to actually allow them use their phones and allow them teach you how to use your phone so that you'll be able to monitor them, or you'll be able to yes, you'll be able to monitor, you'll be able to, let's say, be at par with them so that you can do whatever you want to. If you want to control them with that, if you want to monitor, if you want to do whatever, you'll be able to do that. So for me, organizations would have to now start looking at the kind of human resource they have, the demographics of their human resource, and as I said earlier, tailored strategies. These people are able to appeal to this kind of people. These people are able to appeal to this kind of people. So let's do that. For instance, let's take the church. The church, it's not a church program, but if you take the church, we have the men's ministry, you have a women's ministry, you have a youth ministry. Some people have young adults, some people have the junior youth, and the children's service. All these classes, if we understand their needs and their wants, we are able to tailor certain strategies and then draw people into the church through these groups for the betterment of the church. In that same way, organizations will have to do that. Learn about them. What do they want? What do they don't they want? Okay, how can we tap into their wants? How can we manage their weaknesses? How can we manage their strength? Then we can be looking at organizational growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Frimpong. So it's very important for us to, one, identify the various generations that we have. Two, getting to know and understand what they represent, what resonates with them, what they stand for. And then three, tailoring our programs and all that to suit the generations that we have at the workplace. Amazing contribution from Paul. I'm going to go to the comment. I have some few people dropping their names. I'm going to mention it. When I'm done, I'll come back to Nanaya and I'm going to ask her on how organizations can put or harness the strengths of all these people or bring them together for effective collaboration. But let me acknowledge we have James Kofi Apre here. Great submission. Thank you, James. I can see Nanaya raising her hands already. Thank you so much, James. Then we have, hey, this is your name, Piano Groove, or I hope I mentioned it well.
That's my
Impact.
brother.
That's your brother. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Great having you here. And he says, great submission. Patience Omabo says, she is joining us from East Airport. Thank you so much for joining us. We are having an amazing discussion over here, and we're having a recap of the conference that was held on 26th of September at the McLean Hotel, organized by the SEDAT Consults. And this is the SEDAT HR conference, the second edition. And today I'm hosting two of the participants. And Charlie, if you were not there, you missed. If you didn't join online, you have missed because there's no way we can help you. But we are happy we have them here to share briefings of what transpired at the conference with us. Before I went to acknowledge the few people that joined us in the comment session, I just said that I will be coming to Nanaya to help us understand from her perspective. I mean, she is a Z. Frimpong gave us, all the submissions cuts across, but definitely the generations would influence the perspective with which you are going to share your feedback from. And so I want Nanaya to share with us as a Gen Z or a Z, from your perspective, what do you think that organizations should do to be able to have effective collaboration among these generations?
Okay. Thank you very much. So, particularly for the Gen Z, I said that we are the type that we are purpose driven. We want to know what exactly we are doing. I said something at the conference that we are not lazy. We are just trying to avoid burnout because we have heard and seen a lot. So our own is that tell us what to do. Don't worry about how it will be done. Just tell me what to do. I'll get the job done. Right. And so what we expect is constant feedback. Right. If maybe I'm doing it right, I'm not doing it right, this is how it should go. Just tell me what to do. One thing that makes us feel unappreciated is that, for instance, we bring our take or our idea on something and then it's not being implemented and we do not hear any reason why it is not being implemented. So I said that we are like your smartphones. The constant updates keep us performing at our best. And so what we appreciate is an open communication. Fine, some of the ideas we might be too passionate and enthusiastic about it. We are the kind that we are very vocal about what we want. We are vocal, even though we are young. It's like we are like, why is it that this person is respected? I'm not respected. We are just vocal, not because we are trying to be rude, but that is how we are. We appreciate the feedbacks, and so constant feedbacks, transparency, even in communication at the workplace would really help. And one thing I also think would help would be the reverse mentorship, in that some of the silent generation, baby boomers and the rest, they are more reserved and laid back. They just feel like, so that is just it. And then they leave you to, it's like they're waiting for you to mess up so that they'll lambast you that I told you don't know anything. But that shouldn't be the case. Like it or not, we all need each other. The Gen Zs might be more tech savvy, all right? And so we'll be able to help you when it comes to the IT stuff. And so what about a reverse mentorship where we are able to teach you to also be digitally inclined? And then you also teach us leadership skills, because we have the technological knowledge, you have the institutional knowledge. So why, if we have technological knowledge and you have the institutional knowledge, why don't we all help each other? Why don't you teach? The best way I would say to run things in an organization, and I teach you how to put those things on a system or on a software to make it work and make less work smarter. And so I think the reverse mentorship will be great if our HRs, our managers, our leaders are open to learning from us as much as they try to also guide us on the right path. I think that would open communication, reverse mentorship, all those things would really help the Gen Zs not to come off as rude, not to come off as too known or showing off or being too vocal, but then it would really go a long way, because we both need each other. We both need each other. So that is what I'll say for the Gen Zs. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much, Nanaya. We both need each other. I need you, you need me. Let's work together.
I would want to say something. Just like Frimpong said, you see, he says it's not only about the organizations, it's even about the families. When COVID came, you realize that a lot of the Gen Zs had to be the family IT department, because now we are now teaching our parents how to use Zoom. We are now teaching our parents how to where to press on their phone, video call. Don't hold their phone like this. You know, our parents have a way of taking pictures, a particular angle. We don't know who taught them that angle. So, you know, then we are there to help you.
I told James is not your father, but if he is, you're going to be in trouble after.
Well, he may or may not be fast. I didn't mention names. So then we became the IT department, and so it will help.
Nana, you are very fortunate we don't have any of the silent generations or any boomer here.
By the grace of God.
Yeah. The response would have been, why do you think we pay your school fees?
Exactly.
If you are helping to face IT issues, the response will be, I paid your school fees to do that. Exactly that. Interesting conversation going, and we'll be going for a very quick break. When we come back, I'll come back to my chat box, and then we will come to Nanaya and then Frimpong to respond to two questions, and then we would bring the episode for today. So I wish we would not close, because I'm enjoying the conversation. This is more like Gen Z millennials conversation, kind of, you get it. If we had a boomer here, it would have been, all of us would have been in trouble right now, but we are having our time here. We're definitely having our time here. So thank you so much. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, for those who join us, I'm going to acknowledge you, and then we will come into the studios to continue our discussion.
My name is Patricia Abnakisi. I'm the CEO of SEDAT Consult Limited, the organizers of the SEDAT HR conference. I'm so happy that we are having this conference, especially in Kumasi. And as SEDAT Consult, as a company, we are committed to knowledge sharing, creating opportunity for networking, and ensuring that people in the HR profession advance in their careers. That is why we put together this conference, to give the opportunity to our HR practitioners to first of all learn about the new trends in the HR space, learn about how we can be innovative and creative in ensuring that we are impacting the organization. A lot of the times, HRs are seen as cost centers, but we want to change the narrative. And if we can do that, we need to be very creative. We need to also ensure that we are leveraging on technology to be able to impact or determine or demonstrate how we are contributing to the bottom line. In this dynamic landscape of human resources, we have gathered here together to explore the most pressing trends, challenges, and the opportunities. We know that HR has evolved, and we also know that technology has enabled us to evolve. And so if we don't embrace technology, it's going to be very difficult for us.
All right, welcome back from the break. This is SEDAT HR Digest. We are having a very interesting conversation with two of the participants from the just ended conference held at Micklin Hotel by the SEDAT Consults Limited. And so if you just join us, feel free join in the conversation. If you were right at the conference, we want to know how the whole experience, when your experience at the conference, which speakers' presentation resonated with you. Share with us. Share. I'm seeing some interesting comments, and I'll read it out. This one I have to read it out. Share your thoughts and with us. We want to know. We want to have a whole understanding of what you also experienced. Those who joined online, if you came in person, super. If you joined in person online, great. But today I'm having a conversation with I call her Nanaya, so the Deborah doesn't come easily with me, but I'm here with Nanaya and I'm from Pong. So let me go to the comment section, and I have Felicia Osei. Felicia says that the conference was insightful. Honestly, thank you, Felicia. And I have Esnam. Esnam says very interesting and insightful discussion. I agree with you, Esnam. Okay, so Ifia Sewa Frimpong says, Nanaya and Frimpong, well done. I love this combination. Thank you. The combination is the combination is combining. Okay, right. Now let me read the comment I said I want to read before I come to you. And once I read it, now you should be able to get where this is coming from. So this person says, yo, we here. We give birth to you already. So this
My
is coming
dad.
from absolutely. I told you that you should be careful. That James is not your father, so he has given birth to you already. Don't worry. I gave you my advice. So happy glad to know that your dad is here to listen to you, and I believe is one of the things that the Gen Zs always requires from their parents, where they need the parents to be there to show them support. So thank you very much, Mr. Apre, for giving us this wonderful gift. The HR fraternity is very happy to have her in our midst. She's doing wonders. I have worked with her on some personal levels, and so I know she's a gift. And Charlie Frimpong, thank you. I want to believe Ifia Sewa is also in the Frimpong. Is that your wife or your sister?
I don't know your
You don't know which of them you are here, but I mean, great having all of you here in and joining us in the conversation. I have a very interesting question for the two of you. Now, the question is, does the environment in which one grows affect your generational? Oh, okay. So, all right. So Nanaraba Gifty says that his class rep. So Frimpo, I guess this one is to you. I see his class rep. So I know
I think so.
you get the person now. Great, great. So
Yeah.
what is your take on this particular comment? That the environment in which one grows in, irrespective of your generation, affects your perspective. So you can be a Gen Z, you can be a boomer, but the kind of environment you grow in or the kind of environment you are exposed to affects how you think, how you reason, how you do your things. Let me come to you, Paul. What is your take on this? Do you agree with it,
Okay,
or you
thank you.
think?
Once again, number one, I totally agree with it. Yeah, in as much as we are also talking about this generational diversities and all that, the environment with which you are groomed in will also play a part in how in your perspective of this whole thing. Let me use myself as an example, and I was I would say I've I spent most part of my childhood ages with a baby boomer.
Mm,
Yeah, my grandparents were the ones who raised me during my childhood ages. Yes, so they would instill some of the characters that they have in me, and whether we like it or not, those are your forming stages in life. And so, to a large extent, it plays a part in my life now, even as a Gen Y, even as a millennial, that will play a part in my life. And so, what if they are for systems and structures and then orderliness and strictness? It is very likely that I would also although a Gen Y begin to exhibit those things, would also be skewed towards that angle in some instances. And then, but that is not in isolation. That will come in. There will be an interplay of my generation, the perspectives within my generation, with that of a baby boomer before my yes, and so in for me would affect
right. Thank you so much, Frimpo. So from Frimpo's take
your
is that
cities and then what they want and what they don't like.
right. Thank you. So Frimpo's take is that it's going to have some level of effect on you, and he's shared his experience with us. I don't know whether Nanaya has shares in the same view with Frimpon, or she has a different perspective. Nanaya, let's hear from you. By the way, a special welcome to Nanaya's brother. Yes, he says the brother is also here. I've seen you. I've seen you. Nanaya, can you hear me? Oh, okay. So whilst we wait, her network. Okay, so she joins on another phone. Nanaya, did you hear what I mentioned? Frimpon has attested to the fact that it is going to have a little effect on you as far as your generation is concerned. I don't know whether you agree with him, you share the
Okay.
same understanding with him, or you would want to pick it from a different angle.
Yeah, so I think to some extent I agree with him. Because as humans we change, we learn, we relearn, we unlearn and all of that. So uh to some extent I know Frimpong on a personal level, and I can say that what he says is true, because sometimes like a millennial, why are you behaving like somebody older. So like you said, that is definitely going to have an effect on you. But when you realize that, for instance, if I realize that Gen Zs all know something and I don't know, I'm going to be curious. Because like it or not, I'm in Gen Z, we are curious people. And so I want to know, so what is the new slang we are using? How come somebody knows it and I'm seeing it trend on people's status and I don't know it? So then you are beginning to learn and also adapt. So it would have an effect on you, and I believe most especially in your thinking, how you approach issues, your perspectives. Your actions might not show it, even though I believe it still shows it sometimes. It might not show it, but in your thinking, if you're like you said, if you stayed with your grandpa for long, you are going to be more critical or think in depth about certain things. Gen Zs, we are fast, fast, fast. Adena ba free or like, why are you wasting time on the thing? So let's find a solution, do it on to the next. But maybe they want to sit down, think about the long term, for instance, baby boomers, they are result driven. We are purpose driven. Okay, this is what we are doing. We will do it up to where we can do it. If I reach and it doesn't work or it works, it's still a research for or against the motion. It's still a point, right? So that is how it is. So for I believe that your forming stage, your environment has an effect on you. But while you are growing, your association, imagine you leave home very early, you start boarding house at primary all the way through university. So even though you go back home for vacations, you are spending a chunk of your time in school and you are going to be amongst your generation. So you are going to be learning from them. When you go back home, there is that little reflection. But over time, where you spend the most of your time or who you spend the most of your time with is definitely going to have an effect on your perspective or on your actions, irrespective of your generation. That is what I think.
Right, and I share in the same perspective with you. I had opportunity to both at church level and then work level to work. I mean, my first job, we had about, I think, 70%. Yes, between, I mean, so majority of the staff were boomers, and then the X.
Mm.
Okay, so you can imagine the environment. That is where you go to work and you call somebody auntie, you call somebody sister, and if you don't
Mm.
call and you don't add the auntie or the sister, wahala
Wahala.
be you, right. Then I transitioned to a new place, and here is an environment that about 80% are Gen Zs and 20% are millennials. The dynamics are different. I mean, how you used to do your things here is totally different. And then how you come here I mean, there you are having a program, social event. Challenge HR, you must comport yourself. But here, they need HR
Mm.
to start the dance. So you need to start for them to, so the dynamics in managing these generations are different. And I agree with you. I mean, when I stayed with these boomers and the Ys and all that, I mean, the excess, it's really affected the way you see me, and you are acting all like some grown up be, then you move to, and even at the church level, you move to a
Mm.
different church, and it is 90% Gen Zs.
Mm.
So at church, we tell you that no dull moments. You get to the
Mm.
office, you have about 80% Gen Zs, no dull moments. So, and I could see that whether you like it or not, you have to change your strategy to be able to
Yeah.
fit in into the environment in which you find yourself. So I perfectly agree with you. But at another time, I would like us to have a conversation on how our temperaments affect our
Mm.
perspective at the various gender, because you will have someone
Mm.
who is a Gen Z, but the person is a phlegmatic. So the person will not be forthcoming like someone who is a sanguine, and then a male, and then a choleric. So that's a conversation for another time. But let me come to you. Our time is almost
Up.
up. So let me pick this your thoughts on this question, and then we will bring the episode to an end. What would be your advice? And I'm happy I have two different generations here to give us the suggestion or advice from the various perspectives. So let me come to you, Nanaya. What suggestion or what advice would you give to employers out there or HR practitioners out there? I'm happy both of you are HRs yourselves, or leaders, organizational leaders out there. What would you tell them to do so that they can have a very harmonious environment, harnessing in their attempt to harness this generation or the strengths of these generations together? Because like it or not, at some point you will have few hitches here and there, but what would you tell them? How should they go about it so the harmonization would be
All right.
effective?
Thank you. So my advice would be very simple. I mentioned it as an approach to deal with Gen Zs, but I think it cuts across
Right, so Nanaya's network is not favoring her currently, and so I will move to Frimpon. I'm sure by the time Frimpon is done with his submission, we would have Nanaya back on our screen. So Frimpon, let's hear from you.
Okay, so I think I've hinted on that earlier on. You see, the current generational banter where the Gen Zs are easygoing, let's have fun. The Gen Ys are in between, the semi, and the X's are the straight, let's do this workaholic type of thing. In harnessing all these, we should try and establish cross generational collaboration. That's one thing that if in building teams, setting up teams within the organization, let's identify these groups. Let's try and put them together, and then so that they will be able to. For instance, a typical example is for that during the discussion session for the conference, we had an X, we had a Z, we had a Y, and then you see, when there's a question or when there's a subject matter that we all have to jaw to bring up solutions, everybody comes in with his or her own unique solution or perspective as to how we can handle it. And when we combine all the generational strategies or the traditional solutions that are put on the table or are tabled, we are able to find a solution that is tailored to cut across all generations. Uh, um, 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 yes, let's have the formal, let's have the informal, and let's have the party. If according to it, there's no down moment. Yeah, if the solution is a solution that doesn't really sit well with one generation, there's always this heat, there's always this glitch here and there. But then if we're able to have established cross-generational collaborations within the organizations, it is easy for us to come up with solutions that are tailor-made. Cynthia mentioned something during her presentation and said she prepared slides and then for a presentation. And then one of the workmates says, "Oh, CM, what you have here is not really it's not there. So you give it to me. Let me come up with something." And then she allowed for that to happen. And he said, according to her, the person came up with a nice presentation which catches like it's a blend of the old and the new, a blend of the mid-century people to it's a blend. And so if we'll be able to harness all these strengths for organizational growth, it is very important to establish this cross-generational collaboration. And then we it shouldn't be the hey, follow this, follow that. No, but it should be a point where the Gen Zs would say that they want to be heard. Let them bring what they are bringing on board. Let the Ys also submit. You also submit. Let's find a way to marry all the three or the four suggestions and come up with the best with a solution that cuts across. And for me, I think if the organization are able to establish that.
Sure. All right.
Coming into
all right,
I understand that this is why these people behave this way. This is why these people behave that way, and then we should come together and then just
our network is really not favoring.
Okay.
But that's fine.
I think it's not.
Yeah, so Nanaya, but I'm glad we actually got the point in what he wanted to communicate. I mean, let's have a cross-generational collaboration. Let's bring everybody together. Once we are together in a team and we are reasoning together, it helps it helps with everything that goes on, because you get to understand where I am coming from, and then I get to understand where you are coming from. I remember one of the speakers, was it Yvonne, mentioned that sometimes it is very necessary you put these generations together in a form of a committee to work, and then if it's a department, you don't staff one department with one generation. Make sure you have diverse generations there. It helps a lot with collaboration. It helps the older people will be able to transfer experience and knowledge to the younger people, whilst, like Nanaya said, reverse mentorship, while they also pass on the tech understanding and all that to the older folks in the department, so you can put them together. So let me go to the comment section. Esnam says, please, when is the next conference coming up? I can't afford to miss the next one. I guess this one is coming from Piano Group. Says that my baby keeps making us proud. Thank you. If Nanaya is your baby, I'm just wondering what your dad will also say now. So he says cross collaborational generation. Great insight from Frimpong. Thank you very much. People are already enjoying the conversation. Personally, I wish we would continue, because we can have this discussion coming from different angles. Okay, so Nanaya, let me hear from you, and then we will close.
Okay.
This episode.
So let me share mine briefly before my network. It's raining in Kumasi, so my advice would be, just like I said for the Gen Zs, right, to focus on open communication. Open communication. So organizations should be able to create platforms, right, that allow for dialogue, where employees can express their challenges or whatever it is that they are facing and learn from each other's experiences. So if there is a common platform where, regardless of your generation, you are free to talk, you are free to share whatever your grievances, it would really help. And it's also important that we address any generational biases or stereotypes that might exist. For instance, Gen Zs are known to be thought of as very entitled. All right. But if we understand that it is not just a feeling of entitlement, and it's just people who are vocal and want to be heard, then we'll know how to also address them, just like Mr. Frimpong was saying. All right. Because these things are the very things that lead to the understanding. They are the little things that build up to the misunderstandings and conflicts that we have in the organization. So if you're able to tailor conflict resolution strategies to actually accommodate these generational differences, and the different perspectives, it will really help. So in as much as I think this is something that is tailored to the Gen Zs, I think it's something that would work for all if there is open communication, because it is in open communication that we are able to learn about these generational biases and also learn how to come together to still work collaboratively. But if there is no open communication, we are all going to be working with what we think is best, and that shouldn't be the case. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much, Nanaya. So Nanaya says that we should have open communication and put in place strategies to address biases, generational biases, and all that. And I agree with both submissions. Thank you so much, lady and gentlemen, for coming. Indeed, I mean the whole essence, or if we want to summarize everything that took place at the conference in one word, we will say that we should create a balance. We should create a balance because you need both generations to help you. And so, as much as possible, put in place strategies that will help you create that balance, that will help harness the strength. Each generation comes with their own strength and with their own weaknesses. And it's very important that you really understand the strengths and then the weaknesses that they come in with. That is what will help you. If you're an HR person, you are an organizational leader, you may have your vision, but your team members belongs to a particular group of generation, and you don't communicate your vision or your strategies for them to understand where you are coming from. You may have your strategy all right, and the people to execute your strategy will not understand you, and strategy will not work. And so it's very, very important for you to create a balance. And I believe once we create a balance, we would all live happily at the workplace. Okay, so I think today the most participative how do I say it? The most
Have
participative
you answered?
is piano. Is it piano groove or piano groove?
Yeah. Piano groove
Oh,
impact, yeah.
okay. So he says that I think there should always be a progressive and continuous growth seminars or conferences for all HR professionals. Yes, yes, thank you. I agree with you. And we just had one in September. Will be coming your way. And I think, like what he said, this platform is a good platform for you to continuously learn. If you were not at the conference, I believe what Nanaya and then Frimpon shared with us gives you an idea of what transpired and at least some understanding of some of the things that were discussed. So here on HR Digest, we bring you the best, we bring you the tips, we bring you industry experts, we bring you people who have full understanding of what we are discussing to share with you, to help you to grow. And so once again, thank you to all our viewers on all our social media platform. We are very grateful. Thank you for joining. After the episode, we will share the link with you. Please do well to share it with those who are not able to join us. And a very big thank you to Nanaya. I think I have to start calling you Deborah, so I'll be used to Deborah. Otherwise, one day somebody will ask me,
I
do you
prefer the Nanaya actually. I prefer the Nanaya actually.
thank you? I also stayed with a boomer, so I don't like English names. So so Nanaya,
The
thank you so
impact.
much for coming. Thank you, Frimpong. We really appreciate your comment. I mean, insightful discussion from the two of you. And like I said, I hope to bring you guys on again for other topics. And I believe we'll have a very interesting time when the time comes. But once again, thank you to SEDAT Consult for bringing us SEDAT HR Digest, and also to all our sponsors that helped us at the conference, Glyco, I mean, Fiman Rural Bank, Focal Link, and then there's one more. Let me check my
Okante
spot.
Studios.
Okante Studios. Thank you, Nanaya. Okante Studios. Thank you so much to all the participants. We say thank you. Thank you so much
And you know,
for coming.
Adom TV was there as well. Adom TV Joy News.
Oh wow! Thank you, Adom TV. Thank you, Joy News, for coming to support us as our media partners. We are so grateful. Thank you. Next year, the people in Accra have started negotiation. The negotiation. They want us to have it in Accra, but the Kumasi people too. You see the way that Naya is shaking her head.
Not at our expense.
So, well, negotiation is ongoing. We'll see who negotiates, who gets a good deal. So, next year, between September, October, we'll confirm the date. We'll have the conference again. We have online options. So if you cannot come in person, we will make available or make provisions for the online as well. So feel free. If you can't come in person, please do well to join online, and you will never regret joining. You won't regret. You won't regret at all. Thank you so much to all the volunteers and to all the SEDAT team. Thank you for the great work that you did at the conference. We, on behalf of our CEO, want to say thank you. We salute all of you. Don't worry, the day will come to Kumasi again. That day we'll go to a fearful, you understand. We'll do our things there. Is there, but thank you so much, and thank you, viewers, for joining today's episode. Please share, like, and comment on all our platforms. Once again, we are calling for mentors and mentees for our upcoming mentorship program. Is a 12 months program, and it's starting next month, October 2024, and we're going to run through till September 2025. The flyer is on the screen. The link is in the comment box. Please register. Click on it to register. If you are a mentor, you want to mentor a young HR professional, please feel free. At least you should have some level of senior management experience to be able to help. But you can call us for more information. And if you have you want to be mentored as well, feel free, call the same number. We will help you out. Thank you all. James, Ms. Apri, I see your comments. Don't worry, we'll sort you out. We'll sort you out. But we are happy to have you here. The family of Nanaya joined us today. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you. Tomorrow is Monday. Please do well to give out your best. Work as if tomorrow is the last day you are going to leave. Give your best, do your best, and achieve your best. Thank you, and have a good day.
Tropical storms, flooding, wildfires, drought, shrinking fish catch. In a world of ever-increasing uncertainty, nothing is predictable. The smallest stumble or fumble easily ends in a mighty tumble, with your world crashing down around you. Don't crumble. 𝐀𝐝𝐦𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐻 always has your back. 𝐀𝐝𝐦𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐻, we cushion you for life.
We cushion you for life.
Bank PLC headquartered at Wasepropon in the Menfee East Municipality of Ghana was established in May 1980. The bank is the first rural bank to be established in the Western regions and forts in Ghana. The bank has 20 branches and operates from 4 regions in Ghana, namely Western, Western North, Ashanti, and Central region. Menfee Rural Bank PLC is the most trusted and preferred rural bank in Ghana with the largest deposit portfolio in the industry, and that has been built with consistency. The bank has a strong leadership at both the board and management levels, which has brought great transformation to the bank. The bank has become a household name for supporting micro, small, medium enterprises as well as agribusinesses. Join us to celebrate our Menfee Rural Bank PLC for being the marketing-oriented rural bank of the year.